I think it's time to begin the Batman review. Let us do it. So I'm gonna talk about the themes. I'll try not to spoil it too much, but either way, spoiler alert ahead. I do definitely want to discuss it. All right, let us begin. So, let's start with the rating of Batman. All right, I gave it a solid 8.5 out of 10. As far as character-wise, going through each character, at least the main characters. Yeah, I actually agreed. I agree. I really liked the soundtracks. Very simple, yet very impactful in a way, emotionally speaking. Robert Pattinson. Let's start with the main character. Clearly, obviously, Robert Pattinson did a good job, kind of giving off the kind of character that Batman is. Right. I like that he was able to spew that kind of personality. I think he did a pretty good job with the brooding, headstrong kind of personality, right? With justice being his priority. He prioritizes it more than his own life. But from my observation, I think the writers were intending to give this impression. This is a newer, more green Batman, right? Like, people are calling him Vengeance, which I like that idea, right? He was saying, I'm Vengeance. People will call him Vengeance. That's what Batman represents in a way. This idea of vengeance, this idea of punishing evil, right? So vengeance is a very fitting word. Clearly, he's still green in Gotham, literally and figuratively. His legacy isn't quite intact yet, as you could tell. I really liked the character that he played, right? And I even liked the aspect of him still having fear himself, because Batman, the whole thing behind Batman is eliminating fear, right? Make to where he's fearless. There's a dichotomy there, right? He represents fear, yet he himself has no fear. But clearly, when Alfred's life was on the line, there was some fear that was observable from Batman, right? When Riddler had, again, spoiler alert, had Alfred's life on the line, that's when a little bit of doubt and a little bit of fear began to go into Batman's mind. What I also liked was the vibe of Gotham City. I think that's the way it should be. You know, the kind of civil unrest that there was, right? That seems to be a common theme in Gotham. There's this super powerful first-class social economic group of society, and the rest are just bottom dwellers, right? They're peasants, so to speak. And there's obviously civil unrest. I really like that they kind of try to display that sort of theme with Gotham. I really enjoyed that. They gave Batman a more realistic sort of representation. Even with his fights, he was susceptible to being hit, right, by average individuals, which is okay. That's going to get a little contentious if they begin to put him into Justice League, altercations or Justice League interactions, right? Because think about it, Ben Affleck was able to hit Superman, and Seth, specifically with his Batman vs Superman video, was kind of explaining the absurdity of that, right? But that absurdity is going to be hard to digest or accept with Batman getting hit by average individuals, when Seth kind of proved that Batman in Batman vs Superman and Justice League was beyond light speed, which Superman was stated to be, right? So this Batman is getting hit by the average Joe, the average thug, yet it's going to be expected for us to accept him interacting with gods, right? So that's a little inconsistent. Again, the casual viewer is not going to think about that, right? The casual viewer just watches it at a surface level. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're a power scaler, that's going to be apparent. It's going to be very apparent. I feel like the Batman will become more of a playboy when he's Bruce to keep up on his Bruce image eventually, since he's still unsure of what to do. But now that he knows what Batman is, then the movie will spur this on. Yeah. So the whole power scaling aspect's already a little messy. Unless, the writers give him a special suit where his attributes are exponentially increased. His speed, his strength, durability, all that. That's how it would make sense to a power scaler. Again, the casuals won't care about that. At the end of the day, the writers want to sell tickets. So that's the main thing. But yeah, that power scaling aspect, it's going to be a little bit tough when he starts to interact with godly individuals. As far as the villain of the story, Riddler, the suit in this movie was top tier. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was very simple yet had a very good swag factor. I really enjoyed it. I liked the design. I definitely liked it more than Ben Affleck's. Possibly more than Dark Knight's as well. Yeah, it's up there. It's very well done. It's very casual, but it's very Batman-like. As far as the Riddler, was he a top tier villain? No. Was he Heath Ledger's Joker level? Absolutely not. But he was a decent villain. He was a decent obstacle for Batman to overcome. And the Riddler, obviously, with his whole act being the whole riddle thing. I guess I liked his performance. I liked the actor's performance with the Riddler. Reminds me of the Arkham Knight game one. Yeah, I could see that. But Riddler was alright. I'll give that villain a solid 7 out of 10. Was he spectacular? No. Was he Heath Ledger worthy performance? Hell no. But he did well. Pushed Batman to the brink. The whole Riddler thing, they kind of went with the insanity route. Like Riddler's living in this delusional fantasy world where him and Batman are somehow working together to bring down, the top of the social hierarchy within Gotham. That's what the Riddler seemed to be doing. But obviously Batman kind of breaks that at the end when he lets him know that we're not working together. You're sick, and that kind of makes Riddler doubt himself, And we get a little glimpse of what appears to be the Joker at the very end. We see how that goes. It's very interesting. As far as Catwoman, I liked her character as well. They're already going to the romantic aspect with Batman and Catwoman, and clearly, nothing wrong with that. But Batman's a little bit more lenient with the criminals, right? He kind of doesn't agree with what Catwoman's doing, but he's not chasing her, and it's not like the end all be all for him. The Joker thing at the end sounded like the one from the Gotham series. Yeah, I could see the similarity. I could definitely see the similarity there. Yeah, I just think Batman, the whole thing with Batman is that he's still finding himself, right? He's still trying to fit the shoes, so to speak. Trying to fulfill the role of vengeance, unironically. So, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole dark undertones. I enjoyed Robert Pattinson, solid 9 out of 10, maybe 8.5 to 9 out of 10. He might be my favorite Batman. All right, he might be my favorite Batman. I still think the Dark Knight movie might have been better. Yeah, possibly. We'll see if that's the case. But I think he's my favorite Batman, real life Batman when they do the real life interpretation. I probably liked him more than Christian Bale's, to be honest. And of course Ben Affleck's. I thought he was better. The movie, however, wasn't as good as Dark Knight in my opinion. Because there was, Heath Ledger just lit up the screen. So definitely better than Justice League. Definitely better than Batman vs Superman. Despite the more realistic interpretation of Batman, it was much better. I hope DC sticks with the whole dark vibe. They did it with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I don't know. Pretty sure that's not going to be affiliated with this new Justice League that they seem to be trying to implement. Right? They kind of showed what's to come. The Flash. They're using the same actor from the Justice League. This Batman movie, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, right? Black Adam with The Rock. I wonder how that's going to go. And of course, the big man in the red cape. I wonder what they're gonna do with him, with Superman. I'm pretty sure Henry Cavill's no longer affiliated, at least from my understanding. So I wonder how that's gonna go. We'll see. We'll see. Overall, I was impressed. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very well done. Very well done. I'm glad it wasn't a disappointment, because it definitely was not. I've only heard good things about it, and now I see why. I just think another problem, plot-wise, is how are they going to mix this Batman, a more dark Batman, with the more fun and lighthearted Justice League, right? And maybe that's the whole point, thinking about it. But hopefully they do a good job with mixing all the characters when they start to interact, right? With Batman being Batman, keeping his personality. I kind of want to see that. Stay true to the comic book representation. As far as Batman versus Spider-Man No Way Home, No Way Home was still a better movie in my opinion. I like that Batman and Superman. Batman was very serious and hated Superman. We got that from the scene where he was in that destruction that Superman caused. And oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, I did like that. When he was confronting a little girl, then they ruined that image by turning him into more of a jokester for Justice League. Agreed. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. I hope they do that with this Batman. Stick with it. Just the whole Batman versus Superman plot, you know, it got kind of ridiculous when Batman didn't kill Superman just because he said Martha. That was kind of absurd. Batman punching Superman and hurting him, absurd. But of course, again, due to restrictions of cinema, that's the best you're gonna get. So, I guess I understand that. But again, like I said, this Batman had a very realistic interpretation with him getting hit by average Joe, average thugs. So I wonder how the writers are gonna. Again, I think they're probably gonna give him to like some kind of ridiculous suit that exponentially increases his physical attributes. That's what's gonna happen when he starts interacting with, you know, non-human beings that are beyond human ability. It's probably the route they're gonna go, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. But yeah, the whole dark vibe. To sum it up, the whole dark vibe I enjoyed. I enjoyed Robert Pattinson's interpretation. I think he approached it the right way. I enjoyed, you know, the idea of him building himself up in Gotham's eyes. Him representing, he represents justice, right? Which is what Batman. He's the epitome of it. They did that very well. The villains to come, hopefully, push him even further. I hope Joker is done very well. It's gonna be hard to replicate or even pass up what Heath ever did. Heath Ledger was the perfect Joker, honestly. But that character has to be dark as well. We need like some Joaquin Phoenix vibes. Alright, that's what we need. A guy that pushes Batman, a guy that makes him doubt himself. Joker is like one of the only guys that can do that. Makes him doubt his own himself, you know. Makes him doubt his moral code. The idea of never taking a life, but yet there's this individual that doesn't care about any life. It's a double-edged sword for Batman. I hope they really explore that when Joker is like the poster child for the next one. Hopefully he is. Penguin, you know, Penguin's out there now. Penguin's cool. With I believe Falcone, I believe it was. With his death, he takes over as like the big mob boss. So that's gonna be interesting. He already fears Batman. Batman kind of left a mark on him when he was having that high-speed chase, which I enjoyed. We'll see though. Team up with Riddler and Joker would be cool. Yeah, that would be interesting. This Riddler is more absurd. He's more maniacal, more unhinged. I don't mind that route, right? Maybe him and Joker will mingle well. Maybe Joker will push him, right? Because we kind of get that. Or they have to stop them both. That would be even tougher, yeah. I would say, yeah, Joker and Riddler working together would be kind of interesting. because it's kind of implied with the little interaction they had in Arkham that Joker's there to uplift the Riddler again and to improve him, with Joker being truly chaotic. He's a chaotic individual with really no doubt in his mind. There's really no doubts in him. All he knows is chaos. So, like Alfred said in Batman in Dark Knight, some people just like to watch the world burn, right? And that's exactly what Joker represents. The idea of an unhinged, irrational, chaotic mindset. That's what he represents. He is unhinged, irrational chaos. That's what Joker is. And on the flip side, Batman is justice to what he believes the purest form. So they literally balance each other out. That's why Joker is such a impactful villain. So I really hope they kill it with Joker. I'm really hoping, because that would be a formula for a very good movie. The Batman's good. I like him. They got it with Robert Pattinson to some extent. 9 out of 10. Get Joker, make him just as good, just as compelling character-wise, and we got a hell of a movie. What other characters out there? Alfred, I enjoyed Alfred. It seems Batman kind of looks more like a father here, right? They had their conflicts. Alfred, Jim Gordon, not a bad Jim Gordon, right? He obviously believes in Batman. Jim Gordon is one of the closest humans to having this, the sort of sense of justice that that Batman has. That's why they click. So I enjoyed that. The fact that he was always behind Batman's corner, helped Batman in times of peril. I like the Gordon from the. Oh, I really enjoy that Gordon. That's a very good Jim Gordon, definitely. I enjoy his stories, the tales that they give him. Yeah, I've definitely seen the Gotham show. I don't believe I'm all the way up to speed, but I've watched a few seasons. I really like the way they approach it. Batman is still a young child. He's slowly developing his persona as he grows, which I enjoy. Jim Gordon definitely steals the show. All the adventures that he's had, all the evil that he's had to face. He's the epitome of justice. Yeah, I haven't seen the more recent ones. I intend to, though. But yeah, overall, folks, if you haven't seen Batman, I'd highly recommend it, especially if you're a comic book enthusiast like myself. Very well done. Very well done.